G'day again, welcome back to Dad vs Son, and we're going on with Combat Commander Europe. And it is scenario 15, Armana Romana. Romanians against Russians, and it is the Romanians' turn. So let's see how we're going here. Okay, so the Romanians have got a recover, a rout, an artillery request, a fire, and an artillery request. So, effectively, fire, recover, rout. Okay. And at the moment, the Russians are on 22 victory points. But we still have more Romanians to come on board. So what do we want to do? And I think... Do I think or don't I think? Fire, recover, rout. Okay, so we can't rout at the moment. We could recover, but again, I don't want to waste it at the moment, which leaves us the idea to fire or get rid of the 2 artillery requests. So if I fire, who do I want to fire at? So I probably need to start clearing these out so I can start moving down in here. So if I start firing there, I can shoot. Damn it, I can't shoot straight down to there because that's blocked. Right, so if I did, I would have to shoot from here, which would give me 5 and 1 is 6 into here, which really isn't much good. So I'm going to get rid of these 2 artillery requests and get 3 cards back for them. And the Russians have a command confusion and have picked up a move, a fire, and a recover themselves. Okay. So, a move, a fire, and a recover. Okay, so we don't want to fire at the moment because we're leaving it up to them to do whatever they bloody want, because we hold all the ground at the moment. Right. Okay, so there's no recover. I don't really want to fire. Do I want to move anywhere? Well, if I move the lieutenant here down to here, he would be in command radius of all these 3 units rather than just these 2. If I move Corporal Krylov into here, then again, he would be in command radius of all these troops. But then I'm moving him further away from this area as well. Okay. So at the moment, no, I'm just going to get rid of this card. Yeah, I know. Lots of humming and hawing about doing nothing. Okay, Romanians. Rout, recover, fire. Recover, command, confusion, fire. Righto. So they have a couple of fires now. They have a couple of recovers now. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to fire. And we are going to use this fire order. And we are going to order... Who? Who? It's the thing, we don't really have a great deal to fire with. Okay, so if I get Sergeant Ottolini to do something, then I could go for 6, 7 into here, or over into here somewhere. Okay, we have a guard's rifle here, which has a range of 5. We have a rifle here with a range of 3. We also have this guard here with an LMG that we have a line of sight to, and he's only got 2 cover. So that might actually be the best bet. So let's do that. So we're going to go 6, 7 into here. And is there anything else we can do at the same time? And we're going to use our route for sustained fire. So we have 6, 7, 8, 9 into there, plus, 11 is a 20. That's a hurties. Okay, so we have 20 into here, and this guy is sitting there for 10. Which I've got a concealment, so I could cut it down to 13. Down to 17. Well, in fact, I can't. I've only got 2 concealment, haven't I? So I could cut it down to 18. So that's really not worth it. So yeah, so he is 10 plus 8 is 18, which is not enough. And if I had done the concealing, then he would have been suppressed rather than hit. But that's okay. So we'll do the sniper anyway, and the sniper is at I4, and I4 is right here. So I am going to actually hit this bloke because I want to kill him off. Okay. Now they're going to do next is a recover for their second action. So they'll do him first for 11, and he's good. And they have a sniper themselves now, the bastards. And it is G3, which is here. So they're going to knock off this guy because they don't want him firing that medium machine gun. Okay, then they're going to do this guy. So he's sitting there for 4, 5, 6, and he's no good. And this guy's sitting here for 6 as well, and he is good. Oh, sorry, he was sitting there for 5, not... Yeah, duh. I'm an idiot, but that's okay. So he made it, but he wasn't going to anyway, so that was just stupidity. Rampant stupidity. Okay, so that's their second order. So now they have a fire and a recover again. They can't do another recover at the moment. So they could fire again if they wished. This is where they'd want to fire to, but they've got nobody else that can fire there. Because I doubt if this guy has got a line of sight, he's going to go through 15 buildings to do it. So I think that's it. So the Romanians will call that quits. Grab 3. It's up to the Russians now, and they have 2 moves, a fire and a recover. Okay. So I think we have to do the recover first. So there we go. And we will cover this bloke first. So he's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And that's good. Then this guy is 8, 9, 10 as well. And he's not so good. Okay, so he's sitting there like that. Okay, so I'm going to get him out of the firing line. And I'm going to do that by a move action. Now, I know he's only got one, but he's coming down the road, which is 1, and that gets him into the buildings anyway. So that's our second order. So we have one more. We have another move, and we have a fire. Okay, and I think what we need to do is consolidate a bit. So we're going to do another move, and I'm going to bring this rifle down to here. Okay, and that's that. So 3 for the Russians, and we're back to the Romanians, who have a command, confusion, a recover, a fire, another fire, another recover, and an advance. So they're going to do that. They are going to advance. And they're going to advance this unit. No, they're not. They're going to advance this unit into here. Like that. That gets him out of the way. And then, are they going to ambush him? And I think they will. So they're going to ambush. So this guy will get flipped. So now it's 5-2. And do the Russians have an ambush? And they do not. Okay. Okay. Righto. So 2 plus 7 is 9 for the Russians. And we have an event, which is interdiction. Suppress 1 unit in a hex with less than 1 cover. Which only leaves this one or this one. So I'm going to do that one. Okay, and now they have 5 plus 2 is only 7. We did it. We killed them. We went, no, because we have the initiative, not them. So that's another 2 VP. So Russians now have 24 VP. No, I was not expecting that. Okay, so now what are the Russians going to do? They've done 1 order. They can give up to another 4. They have 2 recovers and a fire. So they could do a recover over here. Well, I think what they're going to do is they're going to fire. And they're going to fire from here to here, because they might be able to knock this guy off. So they will fire for 5, 6 into there. They have nothing to help. So it's 6 plus 7 is 13, which isn't bad. And this guy is sitting here for 5, 6, 7. And I don't want to do anything with that. And he gets an 8, it's 15, and he's safe. And we rejoiced. Yay! So they're going to now recover. We'll try and recover this guy here. So that's for a 7. And they did it. Right. And that is all. And that suppressed comes off that guy. Sorry, I had this guy suppressed, so I've removed his suppression. And that is it for the Romanians, who get 4 more cards. Okay, dokie. Russians have 3 fires and an artillery request. So let's see, what can we do? 3 fires. Ba, da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Okay, so we will fire, and we will fire with this one first. So that is 5 plus 1 is 6 into here. 6 plus 7 is 13, and we have an event. And the event is infiltration. Roll on the Russian support table. Yay! Okay, so we're going to roll, and we get an 6. And we have to place it in or adjacent to a random hex. Okay, so 6 for the Russians in 1941. Let's see what we have here. We have a weapons team with a light machine gun. We have an SMG squad. We have a militia squad. Not a great deal. Okay, so a militia squad's got a range of 2, hits for 5. An SMG squad has a range of 2 and hits for 5, but melee's better. And the weapons team has a range of 6 and hits for 3. Wow. Okay, so weapons with an LMG, or basically an SMG. And I think we'll take the SMG. Okay, so the SMG reduced, going to N6. Okay, so here is N6 or adjacent. So I think we'll look, see. Again, if I put him into one of these ones, can he do that? Select an available unit, then place it in or adjacent to a random hex. So if I chucked him into one of these, then I could probably do a melee straight away, couldn't I? And it'd be a 3 to 4. Okay, I'll just leave him there. Happy? Jeez. Okay. So what did we do? Okay, so we fired from here into here. We're shooting for 13, and now we see what they need to do. So at the moment, he's on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They have a nothing, a concealment, 2 concealments if they want to, and they also have a light wounds. I think they're just going to keep what they've got. So 8 and 10 is great. And the other bloke is there for 10, and he's fine as well. Right. So then we are going to fire again for our second order. And hey, I'm not proud. I'm going to fire with this SMG into here. So he's shooting for 3. Plus 10 is 13, which is pretty damned fine. And he's sitting there for 7. And 3 is 10. So does he want to do a light wounds for that? And I think he will. Or won't he? No, he's not going to. He's going to take the hit. Like that. Okay. So that leaves us a fire or a nothing for the Russians again. And I think that'll do for them. So 2 cards for the Russians. And then we have the Romanians, who have a command confusion, an advance, 3 fires, and a recover. Now, they only have this guy to recover. At the moment. So what do they want to do? Okay, let me have a look. Okay, so there's line of sight down through here to here. But there's also line of sight from here to here, and I could use this and this, couldn't I? So let's do that first. Let us fire to start with. We'll activate Lieutenant Pani here, and this will be 5, 6, 7, 8 into there. And I know I've got this. I'm going to keep that for the moment. So it's 8 into there, plus 6 is 14. Not fantastic, but he's only there for 8 at the moment. And he has a light wounds if he wants to use it. So he's there for 8, and 8 is 16, so he's safe. Right, so that didn't help. So the next thing they're going to do is they're going to advance. And again, they could advance. They can't advance into there because they've just shot. So what they're going to do is they're going to activate this guy, and they're all going to advance forward. Like that. And now we have this guy and this guy. So the Romanians do not have an ambush, and the Russians do not have an ambush. So it's simply 2 against 5. So it's 2 plus 12 is 14. Well done, that man. Okay, so that is time, which will bring all of these buggers on now. The heavy weapons platoon. 1 VP. So that's 25 VPs for the Russians. The Russians do have a dig in if they want to use it. The Romanians do not. Okay. So let's just make sure we don't miss anything. There's no sudden death roll. Defender has gained a VP. There is no smoke to remove. There are units to set up, and then we can dig in. Okay. So where do we want to set these units up? So again, we have 3 good squads. We have a sergeant. We have a mortar. And we have a medium machine gun. So what I think we want to do is we're going to put the sergeant here with this and with this, and we're going to put this guy here in these foxholes with the mortar, and we're going to place this guy in here with this line unit. We'll put the medium machine gun there with this guy. Right. And then we can do our dig in, and we will. And we are going to dig our little SMG squad in here. Okay, so we've dug him in. Right, So we've advanced into here. This guy is now sitting here for 14. And this guy is sitting there for 5 plus 4 is not enough. So again, that little militia guy has bumped off 2 great squads. And that's another 2 VPs. My God. Okay. Now, what do they want to do? They have done 2 orders. That leaves them with 2 fires and a recover. They have only this 1 to recover, so they're not really worried about that at the moment. Okay, so what they're going to do is they're going to issue an order to fire, and they're going to issue it to Sergeant Romana here, who has control of all of these here. So the first thing that's going to happen is the mortar is going to fire, and it is going to attempt to put rounds downrange straight onto here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and they go 2 3s are 6, so it's successful, and it hits for 7 plus 6 is 13, which isn't great, but better than nothing. Okay, so this one here is 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and he's fine. And the event is walking wounded. Select 1 eliminated unit, return that unit to play in or adjacent to a random hex broken. Righto, so the random hex is N2. So we've just got little Russians jumping up everywhere. So this is N2. I'm going to chuck him over here in O2. N2's right here. Okay, so I'm going to stick him over there. Righto, and now this guy is sitting there for 12, and he's fine as well. So the next thing that's going to happen is Sergeant Romana is going to get them to shoot over here to the same spot. So their primary weapon is going to be, may as well be him because it's the same as that. So it's 6, oh hang on, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You can't do that. Oh, okay, so he's just going to shoot with this guy. Okay, so he's shooting for 6 over to here. Plus 4 is 10. Yeah, okay, so here we have 12 and lots, and we have 12 and 12. So we're at time 5 now. VP's 28 for the Russians. Shuffle up the Russian cards. There is no smoke. There is no sudden death roll. Nobody has a dig in to play. No. And there are no more troops to come out. Okay. So just shuffle these up, and it is still the Romanians' turn. So this bloke hasn't fired. This bloke hasn't fired. He's got no range to anything. This bloke hasn't fired, but he's got no line of sight to anything. Or, yes, he does. He has line of sight to him. Just. So he's fire. So that's a 4 plus 12 is 16. Okay, so now we're at time 6. 29 VPs for the Russians. We will shuffle up the Italian deck. Again, no smoke, no troops, no dig-ins. So it's just that poor little bloke that's come back all battered and bruised, who's been hit for 16. And I have a light wounds I could use on him. Okay, so he's sitting here for 6, 7, 8. No, I don't want to use it. 12. He is safe, and we are up to sudden death. And that's the first card off the Russian deck. Wow. Okay, so the Russians are quite happy to win this now. So they want the turn to be a 6 or less, and the Romanians want it to be a 7 or more, and the Russians have the initiative, so they're in with a bit of a chance. Okay, 6 or less for the Russians. And they get 9, which they don't like. So they are going to redraw. We've handed the initiative over. And they get 4, which is great. But the Romanians don't like it, so they say, redraw that, you bastard. And we redraw, and it's a 10. And we say, I don't care, I don't like that. And we go to redraw it again. And we go 9, which sucks big time. And, of course, they're happy with that. Okay, so the Romanians have ended up with the initiative. And that's the last thing, I think. Right, so then we're back to the Romanians to finish their turn. So they have a fire and they have a recover. Bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum 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 ba-dum bum. And I think they're not going to worry about it. So 3 cards for them. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So the Russians have a fire, a recover, and a move. Now they have 1, 2, 3, 4 units that can recover. So I think that's what we'll end up doing to start with. So here we go. Recover. Where do we want to start? Let's start down here. So he's there for 8. And he is suppressed. That was sucky. And then we've got this SMG for 9. And he has 7. So he's good. We have this guard's rifle here for 8, 9, 10. And he has a 3. So he's good. And lucky last is this militia here for 5, 6, 7. And he got a 4. So he's good. And the Romanians don't like that because they want to be able to bump him off a bit easier. But they just went, oh, who cares? Who cares? He can have it. So there we are. So that leaves them now with a move and a fire. A move and a fire. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to fire. Ta-da! And we are going to fire the SMG into there. So we're shooting for 5. Plus 2 is 7. And he's sitting there for 6. So I think he's pretty safe. And 7 is wonderful. And the last thing we are going to do is nothing. We can't do any more. So 1, 2, 3. And it is the Romanians' turn. Okay, so they have a command confusion, a fire, a recover. We're already at sudden death, so I'm trying to play this out. They have another recover. They have another recover. And they have a rout. So, what do they want to do? Okay, So I think the first thing they're going to do is they're going to do a recover. And they're going to try and recover their little man here because they can. That's a 6 and it's no good. Then what they're going to do is they're going to route, and they're going to try and route this guy here, and he's sitting there for 5, 6, 7, and they get 10, so he'll route for 3, so he'll go 1, 2, 3. I think, yep, he has to. So he's gone to there. So the next thing they're going to do is they are going to fire. And guess who they're going to fire at? Yeah, you're right, him. Okay, so they're going to fire with this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. Here we go. So he's firing here. So we have 5, 6, 7 into here. And that's it. Plus 8 is 15. And this poor guy is sitting there for 4. And I have nothing to help him. So an 11, he's safe. A 12, he's safe. And other than that, he's rooted. So that's a 7, which is no good. The event is place smoke in a random hex. Okay, and the smoke is going to L8, which is down here. And it's a 10. Wow. So we have smoke down here for 10. And this guy is gone. Okay. So that's 2 points off. Oops, wrong one. So we're down to 27 victory points for the Russians. Okay. Now they've got 2 recovers and a command confusion, so they cannot do any more. So 3 cards for them. We're back to the Russians, who have a move, fire, recover, command confusion. Move, fire, recover, command confusion. As the Russians, all we're going to do is sit here. So I'm going to fire, and I'm going to use hand grenades, and I'm going to do it right here. So he's shooting for 5, 6, 7 into there. Plus 6 is 13. And we have a sniper who is hitting at M2, which is here. So we've hit that guy as well, which is pretty damn fine. So this guy is sitting here for 6. And we have a light wounds. We have 2 light wounds that he could use. Okay, so 6 plus 3. So he's going to use light wounds, okay? Just drags it out for 1 more, that's all. Okay, so Mr. Foot Jelly becomes a line team. A broken and bruised line team, and that's 1 VP back up to 28. And what do we got? Move and recover. That's it. So that's all the Russians are going to do. They'll take 2 cards. Back to the Romanians, who used 1 of those. So they have a rout, artillery denied, command confusion, and 2 recovers. So, what to do? Look, I'd like to recover this one, and I'd like to recover this one, but I think it's going to play better to... Oh, look, I'll try it. Yes, we will. We will try and recover our poor little men. So we'll do this one first for 8. And he gets 7, which is great. And the event is suppress 1 unit in a hex with less than 1 cover. Okay, so let's fix him anyway. Now, hexes with less than 1 cover is this guy or this guy. So what's the chances of getting this guy back? He's sitting there for 5 as it is, so it's less than 50%. So did I really want to suppress this guy? And the answer is no. So 4 for him and no. But we have another event, which is hero. And we don't have the hero. So we can place the hero out, and if we wanted, we could place him right there, and we could bring this guy back online, which would be pretty silly, really. So what I thought we might do is actually put him here, and he can try and do a run around, maybe, and do some shit. Right, so that's their first for recover, and then they're going to do nothing. There's nothing else they can do. So they get 2 cards, and nah, stuff it. I am going to put him there. Nobody else has had a go, so I don't care. So he has recovered. There we go. Righto, so the Russians have got a move, a recover, a fire, and a move. Okay, 2 moves and a fire and a recover. So they have nobody that needs to recover. And if they fire... Now, do they want to move? And I think I am going to move as the first order. And to do that, I am going to move Corporal Krylov here over here to this rifle for 1, and they do have a shot at him if they wish, and they do have 1 fire card. Do they want to do that? It would only be this one here shooting. 1, 2, 3, 4, so they would have a shot at 7. I suppose they could spray fire, so they could have a shot at both of these here. It's probably worth it. They need to do something. So they are going to fire, and they are going to spray fire. So with this, into here and here. So to 6, 7 plus 9 is 16. Pretty good. We'll go in here first. I have nothing to help other than a concealment. So this guy is 8, 9, and 2 is 11. And 7 is fine. And Corporal Krylov is for 7, 8, 9. And 5 is 14. So he's hit. And this guard's rifle is 8, 9, 10, 17, and he's fine. Right, so that was our move to there. We're going to do a second move now, and we're going to move the lieutenant here down to here, so that he has now all of these in his command radius. So they do not have another fire, so they cannot fire at him. This is the only one that could have fired, and he's blocked. Right, next we have a fire and a recover, and I can only do one. So I am going to recover Corporal Krylov for 10, and we get 9, so that's wonderful. And that's the end of the Russians' turn. So they get 3. This is going to break itself into 2 videos, so I don't care. And we're back to the Romanians, who have artillery denied, a command confusion, and a recover. So guess what they're doing? That's right, they're getting rid of 2 artillery denieds because they can't use the actions on these either. And they get 4 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're back to the Ruskies, who have a fire and have picked up a fire, a rout, and a hidden wire. Don't tell the Romanians. Okay. So what do they want to do? So I think what we need to do is we need to be able to fire a couple of times to knock somebody out if possible. Is there a hope in hell of that at the moment with the way we're set up? And I think the answer is highly unlikely, but damn, I'd like to have a go. So we are going to fire, and we are going to